Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Emma and here we talk about simple living on a budget. Today's video I wanted to do a little bit of a life update and a finance update just to keep this channel up to date with my goals and how I'm progressing through my debt-free journey. The biggest change that my budget has seen recently is that all of my student loans are federally held, so they all went into forbearance automatically as part of the CARES Act, which means that none of my student loans right now are accruing any interest. This is a really big deal for me because I typically pay over $800 a month in student loan interest. And that's a lot of money that I can now put toward principal or make it work for me in a better way than just sending it straight to a lender and not paying down my principal. So because of this change, I actually decided not to make all of my minimum payments. So I have two student loan providers. I have loans through Great Lakes, which are the majority of my loans, and I have just a little bit under $7,000 left on my nil-net loans. So my minimum payments for both loans are $910, which seems like a lot of money, but at the end of the day, most of it is just going towards interest and not helping me pay down my principal. So because of this, I am taking advantage of not having to make any minimum payments towards my interest, and I'm taking that $910 every single month through the end of September to pay down my lowest snowball. I'm going to keep doing this as long as my loans are not accruing any interest, because this will allow me to knock out the most number of loans instead of paying down more principal on my bigger loans. But this way I'll have more wins in the time period that I'm not paying interest, and I'll be able to knock off, either way you look at it, I'll be knocking off a lot of principal, but I'm excited to take away some of my minimum payments after this because I will be closing some accounts. I currently have 8 student loans left, and by the end of this I will hopefully be able to pay off 2 to 3 of my student loans. So I am still paying the $910 minimum that I pay on my student loans every month, but because that money is going to be concentrated, I'm going to be able to pay off more loans, and then I'm also saving anything above my minimum payment that I have left over when I do my monthly budget that would typically go to my snowball. I'm just saving that in a savings account right now because things are kind of iffy. I did take a pay cut at my job, so I don't want to spend all of the money I have. So I'm just keeping that in savings, and then once I go back to work and making a full-time salary instead of working at home, I'm going to take all that money that I saved and throw it right toward the principal of my loan. I'm hoping to do that and have some clarity by my job by the end of September, so that way it can all align and I can pay that money knowing that my loans are coming out of forbearance, and hopefully pay the least amount of interest that I can, because this whole CARES Act is saving me so much money on student loan interest. So I currently have 8 student loans left, and that is the only debt that I have remaining, and the goal has always been in 2020 to pay off about 4 more of those loans. That's what I have left. To that, I set at the beginning of the year as my goal to pay off these 2 loans. I think I've already paid off 2 or 3 loans so far this year, and then I wanted to pay off 4 more by the end of the year, which is ambitious because I do have a lot of loans, but at the same time some of them are lower balances, and I'm working through my smaller snowballs right now. So hoping to knock down the quantity of my loan a lot this year, because then I'll be able to focus on my bigger monstrous loans, and those are going to take me a long time. So knocking out anything little will be really helpful for me to put more money towards my bigger loans in the next years to follow. So this year I'm really trying to knock out anything that I have that's small. The other update that I have that is kind of a bummer to me, but I am just trying to prioritize my money, is I was going to buy a car this year. I had saved $18,000 in cash, but that money will be far better served going toward my student loans. Since I'm not paying interest right now, I'll be able to just knock all that money on my principal payments. So that is what I will be using the majority of that money for. I think I'm going to hold back about $5 grand in case I need to do a repair on my car that's expensive, or if I need to buy something cheap to get me through. This was not the strategy I was originally going for. I wanted a car that was going to last me 5 to 6 years, but just that's not really fitting my priorities right now. And the way the world's going, I feel like I would be way better served to get out of debt and then have to drive a worse car for longer. The thing that I'm still doing is going on vacation. I have a vacation plan this year. I actually booked it already, and I budgeted $1,000 for it, so I'm not spending a ton of money on it, but that is something that I'm still gonna do, and I'm not changing that. I had planned on going on a couple of other trips this year that would have been way more expensive, so knocking it down to $1,000 so I can participate in a family vacation with my mom and some of her friends. It's just going to be so much fun, and that's something that I think is still worth it to budget for. So these are the financial updates that I have. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, do not forget to give it a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.